As we start in the bottom left-hand corner, our red Zerg player. This is B. Dark. He takes on the blue Protoss in the top right corner of the map from Berlin International Gaming. It is ShoWTimE. See how he does in the PvZ. Usually when he plays PvZ against Dark, I feel like he gets cheesed the hell out of the game. It's Nidist a lot and all those kind of things, so we'll see what today brings for ShoWTimE against Dark. I feel like in a macro, more kind of macro-focused game, I really like ShoWTimE, but Dark just doesn't let people get there a lot of the time, you know? He really does not. That is the big problem that we might come across during this PvZ. Game 1, semifinals, Kung Fu Cup, number 8. Let's see what we get. Predictions? Okay. In 1 second, FPS will just be a little bit low while I start it up. Just tapped out. Go. Predict away, guys. Actually kind of interested what the channel point predictions will be for this. Surely ShoWTimE gets blasted here? I don't think you give enough credit to ShoWTimE. I think ShoWTimE can play a very mean PvZ. I think his issue often is he just gets caught a lot by a lot of these more aggressive builds of the Zergs, and I think that's where ShoWTimE might, actually, yes, he might get blasted in that regard. Recent history, though, ShoWTimE 2-1 Dark, WardiTV TLMC, Kung Fu Cup number 1, ShoWTimE 2-1 Dark. Dark did win against ShoWTimE 2-0 in the WardiTV Winter Championship, and he actually won the basically all the meetings before that for like 3 years, or 5 years even, wow. Between 2018 and 2023, ShoWTimE did not win a series against Dark, and now he's won the last 2. That's kind of spectacular. I wonder if it's just in part the online cups being kind of the factor as well, where it's like, you know, Dark, not to say Dark doesn't take the online cup seriously, but Dark is absolutely a different beast when it comes to the bigger events. He's a big-time player, right? He definitely levels up when it comes to those ESL Katowice qualifiers, or group stages, or TSL main events, or BlizzCons, which is where some of their history has been. So maybe in the online events, that's where ShoWTimE can find a little bit more of an edge here against this Titan of Zerg. Start this one off on Ancient Cistern as a map. Sometimes this is a pretty quick veto in PvZ for some players, but we're going to see it here. And it is the Stargate opening from ShoWTimE. That's going to be his choice for these first few moments. See if it works out for him. ShoWTimE is a massive fan of the triple Oracle. He would live and die by that build, I think. It's macro focus, it gives you a good setup, puts you in a good place. A couple of devs gonna get chased down and picked off there. As the feelings continue over, just gonna see a couple of those devs getting chased about. Some little bits and pieces going on. As you have the spores, drones, all that kind of stuff on the way through, nothing too crazy. I'm just going to be seeing our couple queens and drones continuing out as well, so bringing all of this up and running. All of this on the way in. Gate is continuing to produce, and we are just going to be seeing our Oracle, our Adept, etc. continuing in. Evolution Chamber coming through, extra drones and queens continuing to produce. Four drones, 5 drones, not bad. We like that. You take those. Nice little grab, get rid of a few of those workers. Well, there's 6 drones in total. Not a bad start at all. ShoWTimE gonna make Oracle number 4. We're seeing this more and more lately. The Oracle. It's something that players have really kind of Just said is really worthwhile having that extra Oracle for diving and even just defense, especially against melee upgrade openings, is really good because obviously this is going to be Ling heavy. Oh my goodness. You save that Oracle on like 1 HP. Okay, well, yes, I mean, it's really nice to have 4 Oracles when the Ling count is going to be extremely high. How about a lot, man? As Lings wrap around here, 2, 3 Adepts go down immediately, another one goes down. Oracles back over the left-hand side are going to go and try and get a bit of something done there. 13 drones still producing melee upgrade on the way out. And yeah, Oracle's still just kind of coming through here in pretty decent numbers. I say just all of them out, scary. There's not a lot else on the map yet. Obviously, the more Oracles you build, I said this in PvT, it applies here too. The later the rest of your tech is, I actually think ShoWTimE forgot the Twilight Council, no? He did build the Forge initially, now he's building the Twilight. He's got a bit of gas bank. I feel like he might have forgotten that for a little while. That would be a shame, because obviously that really does delay your next stage of this game. That might be a little bit rough to kind of get over. Things are here. The Oracles aren't nearby, so there's actually maybe been a nice moment to go for it, but you're not going to find much. And instead, the Oracles diving by towards the main base. Let's see if they can do anything next couple moments. At the moment, they're just going to sit tight. And actually going to retreat back to the right-hand side, where they're going to find a couple queens. Well, they lose one Oracle very quickly. The Oracles spread their damage here. They could have killed the 2 queens much faster. If they'd gone for one, then the other. Just less damage out on the Oracles as well would have been great. Well, 2 queens, 3 drones. Still not bad. We do lose 1 Oracle now, but continue to tech up as well. Charge on the way, and Temple Archives and a Robo Bay. All the tech coming online as Dark plays Ling, Bane, Hydralisk. Massive run by, though, into this base. We haven't lost any probes yet. The Oracle's on their way back. There's also going to be the push of ShoWTimE down to the south. Going to come in with Zealots and Sentries. Charge not even finished. What a weird situation. If we had charge, this would be terrifying, I think, because we do lose 13 probes in the end. For a while, it really felt as though ShoWTimE was not going to lose anything there, but now he's used all of his Oracle energy, too. I honestly feel like if ShoWTimE had the charge, he could have done a lot on the other side. If the Zealots are jumping on top of Hydras as they spawn or come out in low numbers, there is a lot of value to be gained in those moments, so perhaps a bit of a missed opportunity here as High Templar. Pull back, a couple of Archons will begin to morph. Hive just coming up, Baneling Nest coming through. It's going to be seen on Muskogman still coming in. Melee, Carapace, all continue to build. As you see the single Zergling trying to get through, and the cannon is there immediately to say, nah, not allowed. Ling's back up the top. A few Zealots are going to turn around. Ling's going to get chased away. Zealot's turn, just going to get a few of those Lings, and again, just pushing them back, just controlling the map a little bit. I don't mind where ShoWTimE is at. I don't feel like that run-by was exactly the greatest of things for him, but he has got a couple of Disruptors ready to go. He's got Archons to help against the Lings. The fight has to be good, but I can see the world where this fight works for him. I don't feel like he's just down and out and in a ton of trouble or anything. I think he's in a pretty respectable place, honestly. I think he's in a pretty reasonable spot as our Zealots come through. The Lings getting a wrap around there, push those back a bit. Extra Banes coming in on that top side, just seeing the Archons coming through, knocking a couple of those Banelings down as well. The Hydra still coming across, going to start jumping up. Oracle hits a Revelation. Ling's getting caught. Hydras are going to come pushing. First Disruptor shot. Going to help to get rid of just the first couple Hydras. We do save that Disruptor as well. Ling's hitting Archons on the bottom side. Battery Cannon, not enough of a combo to keep that alive. ShoWTimE obviously having to defend in 2 places and doing a decent job of it. Has a bit of harass of his own, but Dark deals with that very easily, so he's going to have no issue at all punching that one back. Putting control back on his own side. Oh, Prism's going to die. He does die. There's a lot going on for ShoWTimE. Obviously, it's a shame to lose the Prism, though, because If it just gets its shields back, you might be able to get some more Zealots somewhere at some point. Now Hydra's catch Disruptor as well, and now ShoWTimE's been, lost a couple things in a row. Ains will bust that Warp in Stalker. They're going to dive the mineral line. ShoWTimE, does he have a response to this? He had to kind of pick a better or two evils in terms of direction for those probes. 15 of them go down. And ShoWTimE is floating money, man. He warps in 4 more High Temple. He starts some more probes. He needs some Zealots to spend some of the minerals. I mean, is there maybe still a world where we kind of don't mind it for ShoWTimE? I think there's definitely a world where you could potentially say, hey, look, you've thrown a lot of units at me. I've been able to keep a lot of my tech units alive, and maybe then I can actually take a bigger fight and just do something with that. His Ling's going to come in from 2 sides. Dog doesn't seem to care. +2 melee, he says, is enough to work his way through these Archons, and he is going to get rid of everything on the front lines. ShoWTimE has more units out down to the south. This is where the rest of his army is. He actually has Zealots chasing Hydras. That's nice. He's lost power to the Robo facility, though, so he's not going to have more Disruptor production for the moment. And his Dark just getting too much done. I really feel like he is. ShoWTimE has money to spend, and if he spent his money, I really think one big push across the map could be terrifying for Dark to still deal with, but that's just not going to be the case. This is not how it's playing out. Zealots and Archons continue to push on forward. The Hydras continue to drop. The Ling's going down as well. Hydras over here getting knocked down. Archons doing a good amount of damage over to them. Zealots still coming over. Just going to be seeing these Hydras still coming across. Ling's going to get a Warp Gate. And just seeing now a couple of Oracles still coming through. Well, one more Disruptor shot. Trying to get those few Hydras, not quite able to. Man, you can see how, again, ShoWTimE is able to still just hold on a bit, but now his bank is being drained. Again, if he just had spent that money initially, easier said than done. And there was a lot going on. Maybe even just if he'd been able to warp in across the map, he would have spent some more of those Zealots, money on Zealots, and then more Zealots would have been great and would have kept Dark back. In the top right-hand corner, the red Zerg player. This is Dark. Up against the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand side, it is ShoWTimE. Alright, second game of this series, Dark leads by 1. Honestly, that last game was the kind of game I actually would have, really felt like usually ShoWTimE can be very good in. That wasn't Dark being overly, crazy or overly cheesy or aggressive or anything. This was just a bit more of a standard, straight-up game. ShoWTimE just didn't quite find it, as we have our hatchery in the top right as well. Overlord still moving across the map. Hatch going to go down in the 3rd location. Get all of this up and running. More drones. Hatch still coming through. See where the tech choices go. Hatch gas and pool coming up. Extractor about to finish. Drones on the way. See that Nexus continue to come on in here as our Cybercore continues to build. And some good stuff for the moment. Just going to be seeing a few extra drones coming out. Cybercore getting to the front. Nexus coming down as well. All the good stuff for the moment. Here in this game number 2. Trying to work our way through this. Dog, please go Swarm Hosts. Is that what we're cheering for now? With the days come where we're cheering for Swarm Hosts? That really is something new, isn't it? Wings coming up, Links be coming in. All this just being brought out for the moment here. Link speed, a few Lings coming through. Stargate still just coming up. The Adept coming along. Waiting for our Warp Gate to still come on through here. So again, just moving along nicely, nothing too crazy. Really just quite chilled out for the moment. 29 probes, 23 drones. Seen a few more Lings building as Ling speed's done, but there's just to deal with these Adepts, which we'll try for some workers here. Shading out, not going to stay super aggressive. And we get one. We do not get the shot for two, and we do lose 2 probes on the other side, as there's a Ling in the base. Gonna get number 3! This Ling is a murderer. 3 probes go down, man. That's rough for ShoWTimE. He gets 1 drone for 1 Adept, and then he loses 3 probes at home, so Dark gets off to a pretty nifty start. The kind of start that's not going to be like, okay, well, Dark's controlling this game. He's unstoppable at this stage. It's not like that, obviously, but it's definitely a big help for Dark at this point. As spores come up, a couple of probes still coming through. That Oracle going to be popping out sooner rather than later, as our Warp Gate is about to finish up as well. Couple Queens on the way out, drones on the way out. Evolution Chamber halfway along as well. Oracle still moving around the bottom, make it a couple of Oracles around the bottom. This Oracle still all the way up to the top and ready to maybe dive into position here as our Queens. Just gonna go and get some shots off. Oracle's taking some hefty damage. Oracle's gonna dive over here, gonna get 1 drone. Seeing our melee upgrade and our drones continue to produce. Queen on the way out. Forge and a Robo facility coming up as well. A couple of Adepts just in general continue through for the moment as our Oracle dives in. 2 drones going down. And melee upgrade once more. Obviously, we saw last time ShoWTimE played 4 Oracles. This time he's playing the 3. Robo and Forge, no Twilight Council again. I wonder if he wants to still go into that just charge follow-up. Just off of, you know, a little bit of a faster setup on everything else. For the Twilight, I think it has to be if your Twilight's going to be this late. And then once you get that Twilight down, go instantly Temple Archives as well and start working on some Archons to help you against this Ling Bane Force. The Oracles are good for a certain amount of time, but at some point you're just going to need those Archons to be tanky, AoE splashing all over the place. All of that good stuff. As our Adepts come shading back down to the front. Ling's going to work around the left-hand side. We can look to see what they can do. The Queens coming across, Revelation going down, and we have our Oracles still just seeing if there's anything else they can spy in terms of damage. See if there's anything they can grab over the next little bit. Oracles come in, the Revelation is decent. And just going to be seeing our Temple Archives. Like I say, if you're going to go charge, you're going to absolutely need at some point to get into the Archons here to really help you against the rest of this Ling Bane Force. So I do think that's something we just have to keep moving into. As the Oracles still just diving around, you know? There's only 3 of them, but 3 is still a good number. I say only 3 because last game it was 4. Dark is going to set up some of his first bits of Ling Bane. 55 drones. He is droning more behind this now, but that first wave is on the more aggressive side. He could have potentially droned a bit sooner. I don't think there's been anything in particular he's needed to build units for in terms of, you know, dealing with ShoWTimE attacking. Double force fields coming down, Lings wrap around, Adepts go down, Immortal taking damage, Sentries holding out with that cannon nearby as well. I'm just going to be seeing a couple more force fields still dropping into place, a couple of Banelings going to start getting swiped out. We're going to knock some of those down too. Honestly, a good defense from ShoWTimE. He doesn't lose much, he cleans out a lot of Ling Bane, and he's been ahead on workers until just recently, so go ahead and say with the resources lost being kind of similar, income graph ShoWTimE favored, that ShoWTimE's had a pretty good setup thus far here in Game 2 of our semi-finals. And that +2 attack upgrade just now starting as well as he continues to head into the later stages. That is ShoWTimE's goal, that's his aim. Let's get into the later stage of this game. A couple more cannons coming up, gateways as well. ShoWTimE just knows what he can do to put himself in a great spot here for the moment. Storm and +2, continuing out. Just going to be seeing the Oracles coming around this right-hand side. Looking to see what we can get up to. Just for the moment. Still seeing that Storm. Obviously, that's going to be massive against Ling Bane forces. His Archon's still just chilling in the front. The Rocks have been taking some damage, but obviously ShoWTimE would like them to not go down, so he doesn't have as many places the Zerg can attack him from. We'll just see now Zerg getting creative. We're going to see the Dropper Lords loading up, and they're going to come around the sides. They're going to make their way over there. And we see our +2 melee upgrade continuing through the +2 attack on the side of ShoWTimE. We've mentioned a couple times. +2 melee, it's very dangerous because you're obviously at the point where these Banelings can one-shot the probes. So you've got to be very on top of your defenses. Infestation pit behind this. The Dropper Lords are just waiting, and here we go now. Going to spread out, going to hit multiple different locations. These are all full of Banelings, so Banelings across the board here. Stasis Sword catches at the front, but the Dropper Lords are showing up. ShoWTimE's response in the main is to pull away on the low ground. It is not to pull away in the natural. Well, that's going to be next. We actually just hit over here at the same time. My goodness, 35 dead probes, and we're not done yet. He absolutely could have had more just then already. Didn't quite find that chance as we have a couple Banes going off. 37 dead workers is going to be the final tally. That's a lot of dead workers, guys. Does ShoWTimE have an army to just kind of go across the map with? Because it's one of those moments where it's like you've lost so much economy. Do you have an option other than to just send it across the map and just commit? Prism goes down. Well, there goes your reinforcement point. I don't think so. I think ShoWTimE just lost so much eco in one fell swoop that he is going to be down and out. There's still Banelings ready to go. These feelings might pop out. These Banes in the main. Ouch. He even saves a couple. It feels bad when the Zerg's like, man, there's not even enough workers to be worth killing, you know? Like, is that an insult? You don't even have enough workers for me to use my Banelings on them. Like, bro, that's so sad. Oh dear. A few more probes go down the natural instead. And I mean, he responded in the main base originally. It was just everything in all the bases at the same time. It was just so difficult to deal with, and unfortunately ShoWTimE wasn't able to magic up a good enough response. More Banes, more Dropper Lords even. We're seeing nothing but Ling Bane on the map. I mean, there's 14 Roaches, but we've barely seen them do anything. Stalkers are going to start trying to clean up some of these Dropper Lords to try and stop further, well, dropping action, quite frankly, as the Bane's back in the main. That Storm here was good. Hits a lot of the Lings low. That's going to give the Archons much more life. This game is not done. If ShoWTimE can get across the map off the back of a fight like this and maybe go and trade, but the good Storm and the Archons connecting after, they can absolutely still shred a lot of what Dark is working with. The problem is I don't know how ShoWTimE gets across the map. Dark is likely to counterattack. He's likely to jump on ShoWTimE's reinforcements and so on. Like, it's very difficult. That's the biggest problem. There's no Prism either, so you can't reinforce across the map. That's going to slow you down. You would absolutely need to build a Prism, I think, if you're going to commit across at any point in the near future. So there's another requirement, basically. Bane still caught up in the top, just going to be seen as Stalker still trying to zone, man. Overlord taking some damage. Obviously, we're just trying to make sure that those do not get back in play at any point. You want to really try and stop those from coming through at any possible opportunity. The Archon's coming through, the Feeling's taking damage, Roach is coming around. Going to be seeing the Archon's going to sit here, and another Storm goes down, a bunch of Lings going to get hit. The Storm on the top side as well, that doesn't do much of anything. There you go, big Storms coming through. These Archons on the other side really need to get into this, kind of preferably ahead of the Zealots, because the Zealots tanking is not exactly great against the Banes. Honestly, like, it's closer than you'd want it to be as Dark, right? He's got 4 Ultras on the way, upgrades still coming through, these Archons are still a big threat, and the Zealots coming in to grab those Roaches. Well, those Roaches are going to die. I mean, these Archons need to deliver, and in fact, there's no Immortals is a massive benefit right now to Dark. If there was any amount of Immortals, he actually might be in very serious trouble as it stands. I think this push of ShoWTimE is obviously fairly serious, is scary. I think the Ultras are going to be enough for him, as the Cannon's going to get rid of the Overlord before a single drop of the Baneling. So this time around, ShoWTimE holds. More Archons back at home. He's backing it up a little bit. He's just going to go home for a while. I mean, Dog was going to get the Ultras out no matter what, I think. Feelings sneak into the natural. And ShoWTimE is about to be maxed out once again. Well, the Ultra's genuinely going to be losing the Robo facility means that you can't get Immortals going. He just lost the Robo, so there goes your chance of building those. Well, it really depends if these Ultras can take a good enough fight. So far, not really. The Archons are going to make a wall. How do you fight that as the Ultras? It's a little bit awkward for sure. Ling's on the other side. Is the splash damage enough? ShoWTimE's losing a lot, as is Dark. These last few Ultras are not standing the test of these Archons, however. And these Archons are continuing to move through. They're getting a lot done here. Just going to be seeing our Archons continuing to get through, and ShoWTimE is going to win it out. Just like... Hello guys, sorry for that. Ellie was just super excited to go outside. She never jumps on me like that when I'm at my desk, like, you know? Oh yeah, alright, Adept. Gonna go nibbling at the hatchery. We do have the Stargate coming up, Link Speed still coming through. Adept moves on across, couple Links coming to chase, Queen is on the way. And yeah, I didn't miss much, right, guys? Just a Stargate opening, nothing too exciting. Please let me know if I did miss anything. As, yeah, she never jumps on me like that, like not unless we're, like, playing, but, like, when I'm working, she's usually still camera shy. She's like, no, I'm gonna stay away. But, not the case right there. That was wild. That's just really random. Really random. Alright, what are we up to? Feelings moving around the map. It's going to be seeing an Oracle Queen all coming in. And we just get this rumbling in these early stages. Couple Queens, few drones, all producing for the moment. And it looks as though ShoWTimE's just going to try and get to third base. Man, I didn't really get a chance to obviously comment on just how ridiculous the end of that game was. Game 3 was absolutely bonkers, quite frankly. I mean, talking about a situation where I mean, ShoWTimE, I think someone in chat literally said, why is ShoWTimE so shit against the Koreans? Or something, or words to that effect. Well, yeah, I mean, he won the game, so... it was kind of wild, but like, the problem with Dark's army always is that you still need to fight the ShoWTimE army one time. And if ShoWTimE does get maxed with a lot of tech units, which is exactly what he got, then yes, if you get into that sort of a situation, yes, it's going to be a big deal, right? It's going to be kind of nasty. And that's exactly what ShoWTimE had. He was able to rebuild a couple times over. He was able to get going. He was able to push himself into a wonderful position. Yo, totally not a pylon. Thank you so much for the 27-month resub on the Prime. This is just going to be some Oracle Adept pressure. Nothing too crazy about that just yet. I think even pretty standard, one would say, as the Oracles do get rid of a couple of drones. I'm just going to come back across, the Adept still out down to the south side. We'll be seeing all 4 Oracles then setting up once again, so we're back to the 4 Oracles. As our Adepts move up through the center. Oracles chilling over on the right side. Evolution Chambers, drones, roach runs. So not going to be seeing the melee upgrade be as prioritized this game. There's at least going to be roaches, and this time you can see the missile starts immediately from Dark. So he is going to change up the direction we're going in right now. Adepts come through, just going to shade over onto this natural where we get rid of a few lings. Oracles activate for Queen number 1. Oracles activate for Queen number 2! We get that one straight away as well, so 2 queens down already. Lings continuing around. Just going to get a grab on these couple of Adepts. I'm just going to be seeing our Robo Facility coming up, Gateway on the way. Got all of that going here as missiles, +1 roach speed, Infestation Pit all coming through. Things come over, pylon's going down, a couple sentries in position, so I mean, you gotta cancel on the pylon, nothing too major. There's the Nidus network, there's the Infestation Pit. Someone asked for the Swarm Host, you're gonna get him. Zog is gonna start those up, away we go with them. Getting those going, Swarm Host it is, here for game number 3. 12 start. Now, let's see how ShoWTimE deals with this. He's got 4 Oracles, which should be good to help deny Niduses around the map. Things heading all the way down to the south here. Again, just going to be seeing the missile upgrade, the roach speed all coming through. Now you're seeing a Nidus in the bottom left-hand corner, so that gets started as well. Swarmhost already jumping into the Nidus on the top. Oracles keep on moving around here, trying to see what we can do. Things moving back over to the right. Let's just see how Swarm was going to drop this around a Locust. So this is where ShoWTimE, well, needs to try and minimize the first bits of damage done. Preferably do not lose a Nexus. He's going to kill off the Nidus. Super Battery will pop here to help keep units alive. We'll lose a Gateway. We're probably going to lose Pylon power to those gates as well. Nothing that isn't replaceable just yet. And now you've got some time to continue through. There's those few gates set up on the left. Blink, +2. All on the way in here. Colossus production continues. Our Oracle's still overhead. Going to activate onto this building Nidus. And still taking some extra shots. The Swarm Hosts are still pouring out of the Nidus as well. It's just continuing through with all of that. And +2. Blink. All the good stuff coming in. The Locust already going to spawn up. Head in toward the main base. And they begin to drop down a couple of these Stalkers. Going to drop straight on in. That's a lot of Stalkers getting picked off here. Just going to be seeing the army at the front. This is where you really need to just survive and keep your units alive. The Colossus does get to the battery. That's important. Can the Immortal live through this? I think so. It's a decent hold at the front. Obviously, supplies are very deceptive in these scenarios. The Roaches inflated a bit. The Swarm Hosts are a lot of supply at certain points, and then not a lot of supply when their cooldown's active, right? So it's not uncommon, I think, for ShoWTimE to be behind the supply like this, as long as you keep on holding. The problem is... the problem that comes about, right, is that if eventually Dark ends up in the... if ShoWTimE ends up on a big army that can push back a Locust wave easily, Dog has no legs to stand on at that point. Like, at that stage, it just becomes very difficult for Dog to take a fight because his army just isn't that great. So the battery activates, even just buying some time on the cannon right saves another unit. So, again, you're kind of getting more Colossi out. It is helping. Stalker's going to knock down the Nidus over on the left. It will fall pretty much immediately. Roaches, Ravagers continuing through the bottom. Just going to blink forward here. This is the moment where you can be aggressive, of course, because the Swarm Host on cooldown. Plus 2 attack about to finish up. Just going to see the Roach Ravager jumps onto the pylons over on the left-hand side, so knocking these down as well. They come through. One Roach already dropping. A couple of Vials dropping in. Stalker gets hit. Just going to see another round of Locusts. Going to come straight on forward. Colossi already taking a ton of damage. We're going to just jump onto this Robo facility. That gets knocked down with immediate effect. Nice network. Is going to go down in the bottom corner. A couple of probes going through. Again, a couple of Vipers coming up. Lurkers coming down. It's going to be seeing our Roaches outlings that extend down to the south side. Roach is going to go towards a couple of the Stalkers. And you're going to be seeing the Locusts continue now down to the south. Stasis Ward is going to catch. Here come these Locusts trying to pressure through. Colossus firing, Roaches and Ravagers still getting set here. We do have Hydra's Lurkers still coming up. I guess going to be seeing our Corrosive Vials. And there's the Stalkers blinking through. Roaches and Ravagers continuing to get picked away at. Colossus goes down. Stalkers still continue down. Immortal is going to get chased as well. A couple more Vials. Just going to keep everything else at bay. Stalker's still going, and we see more of these Lurkers! Lurkers. There are Lurkers on the way, but the Swarm Host getting shot down. I mean, Dark is transitioning, and that's the important part. Getting out of these Swarm Hosts and into something better. Doing a great job of it here. And let's see our Roaches, our Ravagers still moving out over the left side. Locusts pop up, couple Stalkers chased around the edges. Locusts are going to go diving forward. So the battery activates, the Stalkers keep on trading a little bit extra. Right, Locust still obviously being something you have to respect throughout, and that's going to keep ShoWTimE from getting across the map easily. Nidus down, still just going to be seeing the army of ShoWTimE around the left. Viper is going to go down, so actually jump on that, but again, there's Lurkers here already. I mean, really push into that. Stalkers really suck against Lurkers. Like, they just don't do well at all. Stalkers actually may just jump into the main base from here as well. It's an option. As we actually have some Stalkers left on the low ground, they'll get the Viper. Dark's losing a lot of units, guys. I mean, here comes the warp into the main base. The Swarm Hosts are coming over. The Lurkers are trying to come over here. We blink forward, but we don't have detection on the Lurker that I think he was initially aiming for. Now you've got blink into the Locust. This wasn't the prettiest blink in the world, that's for sure. The Stalker's still coming over. The Prism coming up the left. Locust coming around. One of the Oracles gets picked off. The Locusts are still dropping into the corner here. As we are going to be seeing... Well, ShoWTimE just lost a lot. I actually loved the idea at first, but the blink forward just was not it. Into a Lurker that he didn't have detection on or anything. Stalker's still firing. Colossi still shooting. Hydra's going down. The Lurker still firing up. Prism loads up on the left-hand side. Stalkers and the Colossus hitting on the hatchery. Army of Dark heads down to the bottom. Gonna cut off ShoWTimE's retreat with these last few units. He can't really get those home unless he has a recall. Stalker's gonna grab a Lurker too. Just gonna nab that and just seeing our Hydra's Immortals still producing through. Just gonna see how it's still going after these Zerglings. Hydra gonna get picked off as well. Just gonna knock that down too. Now Stalkers and the Colossus are back up the top. And there's a few Lurkers that burrow. You blink away one more time. Still got one lurker around the back. Our Zealots will get hit there. Colossus still firing. Hydra's taking some big shots. As the Locusts drop through a rubber facility. Warp gates all going down. The lurkers still firing up a storm. These Locusts continue to make some good work through this area. A couple pylons will be getting picked away at the Nexus as well. I mean, ShoWTime's just losing real estate, and that's a big issue. Stalker's going to grab the OV. Roach is still coming across. Templar Archive is also building. Observer speed is also on the way. Stalkers and Zealots and Immortals. Back down the bottom side here, a couple of these Stalkers already getting picked. The Locusts are going to spawn out of this Nidus very shortly, and they're going to get active down into the main. Knock down the Nidus here with the Zealot Stalker. Just seeing a couple of these Locusts still moving through. These Zealots actually going to jump forward as well. Roach is getting chased. Lurkers firing up a storm. Gonna knock both of those down pretty much straight away, and, well, yeah, Locust will expire from the main. In the bottom left corner, Lurker's going to go diving into the bottom left. Burrow going to aim for the Nexus. Continue up over here. A few of these Lurkers already being pushed back. Stalkers blinking through. Lurkers taking big damage. Hatchery taking a lot of shots as well. A lot more Hydras continuing out here, as we do have this hatch about to go down. Stalker's just going to pop out one more time. Just seeing our Immortals and Stalkers still being chased away to the edges. 16 minutes deep here this game. ShoWTimE is clinging on by a thread. I really think he's in trouble, though. He doesn't really have much economy anymore. His income is... it's going to be dying off over time, especially as, you know, these last few bases or last few mineral patches begin to really run out. Lurkers get a gateway on the low ground, and still seeing now just Roach Hydra into this mineral line. 7-8 probes all coming through. Another Lurker going down as well. These couple Hydras still getting picked off. 6 more Hydras, a couple more Vipers are still being produced here. So, I mean, we just got so much on the way from Dog. These are things that ShoWTimE can't really contend with, given where we're going. We come forward here, just going to get one more Hydra kill. Spore Crawler going to burrow up in the front. Yeah, Hydras, Lurkers, Vipers all still coming through. Nexus is on its way. As the Hydras get there, the Prism gets pushed back. Gonna get rid of some of these drones on the high ground. Lurkers fire up a shot or two as well. It's gonna keep things back a couple moments once more. Not messing around. 2 Immortals coming up. 4 Hydras are still producing. As Zealots will get forward. The Spore taking some pretty reasonable damage. Again, a couple of Immortals still gonna be popping out just over the next few moments. ShoWTimE trying to reestablish a base. I really feel like, how far away are we from Dog just coming across and killing him, though? 14 Lurkers, 10 Swarm Hosts. It's an army that's obviously very positionally focused, but if it gets in position, we actually do have a Nidus right now in the main. If that gets up, that would be terrifying. I think we're going to be okay. Immortal should be able to reach it from the low ground, too. Okay, we deal with it with very minimal impact, especially because you don't have to pull the army all the way into the main. It means you're not going to be out of position at the front or anything. Hydras, Lurkers, Vipers. Coming around the right side. Nidus gets set up. We are going to be seeing this force of ShoWTimE. Gonna get going in. Just getting absolutely destroyed. The blinding clouds just force him forward into all this fire. There's just no way. I just don't think there was for a while. He was honestly staying alive way longer than I gave him credit to. GG's, and that is going to be Dark.